Christmas time, baby! Fudge, presents, Mariah Carey making bank. What a time to be alive. And if you've already seen the classics like It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Story, and Home Alone 20 times, I wanted to recommend some solid and, to me, underrated films for the holidays. First is Half of the Holiday. Yeah, this movie shares the same problem as Julie and Julia, where 50% is fantastic and 50% is garbage. It's like being delivered a bouquet of flowers, but inside them are about 12 flies that buzz around your house. Now, to be fair, it was worse in Julie and Julia. Here, the Cameron Diaz-Jude Law storyline isn't unwatchable, it's just so generic. The two actors don't have very much chemistry, and the characters don't offer much other than being pretty. I think the fact they hook up so quickly robs any sexual tension, only to be replaced with, well, nothing much at all. Dang, Clay, that's a lot of criticism for a movie you're recommending. That's because the Kate Winslet-Jack Black story is lovely. Sparks are flying between these two performers, and you really get a sense that they are comfortable with each other and are enjoying themselves.
You know, every movie he's told me to see has this powerhouse woman in it.
I wonder if he's trying to tell you something with that. Okay, sorry about that. Boob grace. That was accidental. Accidental boob grace.
Also, to any woman out there who has seen an old man in public and thought, "Aw, old people are so cute," you are now required to watch this. Kate Winslet's character strikes up a friendship with an old man, and their dynamic is so nurturing and sweet. He's an old-fashioned gentleman with no filter, and she genuinely enjoys his company and wants to take care of him. The finale is adorable, and what's so striking about it is that the happy ending isn't just about two people falling in love, but it's about improving yourself, improving the lives of others, and shedding aside the toxicity, traumas, and unpleasantness we live through day to day. Half of the Holiday actually has something to say about how easy it is to fall back into routine or a bad relationship, and how being good to yourself can be difficult, can require bravery, and is 100% worth doing. I have to harp again on just how good Winslet and Black are together. The fact they aren't the typical looking couple helps the story come across as more heartfelt and less hallmark, and it's something I wish more romances did with their characters and casting. Watch this great movie, but have that fast forward button at the ready.
I also wrote one that sounds like you.
You did?
Iris, if you were a melody. I used only the good notes.
Next is While You Were Sleeping. Quick disclaimer, I'm not going to talk about horror Christmas movies or whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie, which is a debate I'm going to be doing a video about actually. This time I'm talking about some true blue Christmas flicks. While You Were Sleeping is probably the easiest, breeziest, simplest watch I'll talk about today. The themes aren't deep, it's kind of cheesy, and you know how it's going to end. And honestly, I don't have an issue with that kind of movie. But where this worked for me, where so many others failed, is the actual journey. For starters, I like Sandra Bullock a lot in this film. Her narration is better than I expected. She voices it less like formal narration and more like she's actually in the room with you, halting and getting flustered in her sentences, which works for this kind of lonely, seemingly hopeless workaholic in Chicago.
Well, we've never actually spoken, but I know someday we will. I know it. I just know it, and I know that someday I will find a way to introduce myself, and that's gonna be perfect.
The initial plot device is my least favorite aspect. A man Sandra Bullock has a crush on goes into a coma after she saved his life. His family shows up, there's a brief miscommunication, and now everyone thinks they're engaged. Really could have and should have avoided that one, but once the story actually kicks into gear, you stop worrying about all that because it's delightful watching this family. They squabble, they laugh, they're a mess. You soon learn that this isn't even about the handsome man on the hospital bed anymore. It's about that new sensation you can't get anywhere else. And that's being part of a family, especially around Christmas. In a touching scene, we see her in real time coming to grips with this feeling. Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman play off each other well. That scene in the snow will make a lot of people just melt when they're watching. While You Were Sleeping is cute and comedic in all the right places. And while its simplicity may not work for everyone, if you want that kind of sentimental, even a little bit corny movie that's as much about family as romance, I'd say definitely add this to the watch list.
Just step back for a little bit. I'm gonna try an old trick.
What's the trick?
Push it really hard.
Okay. Okay, push.
I did.
Next is The Family Stone. All right, hear me out. This was not very well received, and I'm not surprised. There are things that are generally great, and there are things that are straight up awful. It's fascinating to me, and if you're the kind of group that enjoys talking about the movie afterwards, this is a solid one to check out. I'll start with the bad. The main plot is about a new fiancée, played by Sarah Jessica Parker, meeting her fiancé's family over the holidays. She is uptight, nervous, and keeps making mistakes, and some of the family members don't like her immediately and don't give her much of a chance. This isn't trying to sugarcoat, at least at first, how rude people can be even in such a setting. And one dinner scene will make you shred your nails on your kneecaps. But the giant nuclear missile of a problem here is that the protagonist is so grating, inappropriate, stupid, cringeworthy, and downright unlikable that halfway through there was no going back. And the movie's attempts to win us over to her consist of drinking, a nice present, and dropping a tray. Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me, dog. Beyond that, when this film tries to be a typical romance, it fails miserably. The sister character is completely unneeded. The music and the snow and all those cutesy elements don't work in this movie because they aren't earned. And to top it off, the romance is almost as incestuous as an episode of Arrested Development. But damn, as a Christmas drama, there is so much good here. First, Diane Keaton. I honestly forgot how good of an actress she was, and she brings so much power and naturalism to the role.
It's just, honey, I can't give you my mother's wedding ring so that she can...
You made a promise to me.
Tough shit. I'm sorry. I know you're disappointed, but think how I feel.
There are two separate scenes where a son is crying, and it's heartbreakingly beautiful. Rachel McAdams eats up this role of the bitchy sister. The production design is incredible. Everything from the furniture to the wallpaper to the amount of props instantly gives you the sense that this is a cluttered, lived-in home that never has less than 5 people inside at any given time. Anyone interested in production design should consider this an essential watch. Again, just focusing on the drama, the character dynamics are interesting, and the film gives us so many interactions that halfway through we have a good idea about how everyone feels about each other. And finally, the last scene strikes a bittersweet tone, and in a Christmas movie, that's practically a shocker ending. So yeah, that's The Family Stone. A poorly conceived romance waddling alongside an intense, well-acted, and impeccably designed family drama. It's my lowest rated movie on my list today, and yet, look at how much I just talked about it. I can't sell this any other way.
And you are more normal than any other asshole sitting at this table.
Second to last is Just Friends. This one's hilarious. I know everyone's obsessed with Deadpool, even when the script half-asses it, but I think Just Friends might be Ryan Reynolds' best performance. I know he plays basically the same guy in almost every movie, but Just Friends gives him so much more to do. See, there's a clever regression in the plot. The character was a dork with a lisp caused by a retainer and was perpetually desperate. After being, at least in his mind, burned by an unrequited love, he spends the next decade building himself into a suave and successful womanizer, putting his former life so far back in his mind that it would be lost first if he hit the ground. This character is more or less the typical Ryan Reynolds we see, but when he has to revisit his hometown because a Britney Spears wannabe microwaved aluminum foil in the plane, he sees his old friends, family, and that same unrequited love again.
What do you want from me?
I ran into Jamie Palomino last night.
Oh, here we go again.
I'm not the same person I was in high school, pal.
You'll always be fat to me, Chris. Ah!
From here, a series of events cause him to become clumsy, awkward, and even have to wear a retainer again due to an injury. And the more he fights against becoming that person he once was, the worse it gets. It's a personal journey to find a middle ground. Embrace your success, your confidence, your biceps, but don't let it go to your head. And don't forget where you came from. And this is all done through comedy. The character's growing misery is hysterical. Anna Faris steals every scene as the brain-dead pop star. You know that girl who got her way too much in life and then tries to actually sound profound in a discussion? Anna Faris's character is just like that. And even beyond parody, the performance just had me rolling from start to finish.
I'm Samantha James, and I'm here with Mr. Cluck Cluck and my new best friend Wafufi, and we're part of a kick-ass humanitarian effort to help promote vegetarianism in third world countries.
All the supporting characters are great. The over-medicated mother, the bratty brother, the pretend best friend that every guy sees right through, and the slimy manager. The actors are giving it their all in this movie, and it's the kind of comedy we need more now. Less lazy improv, less lazy writing, and more bringing actually funny people to elevate an already funny script. It's the kind of film where it'll be hard to pick your biggest laugh. The toothpaste scene. What would happen if a Scotsman showed up to a children's hockey game? For me personally, it's probably when the main character has no idea how to say goodbye and ends up violently shaking her. And then he has a horrified breakdown in the car. This is a slightly more adult film, so I'd recommend it to friends, cousins, or siblings. Kick back and have a laugh at all the problems and joys Christmas can bring.
Stupid! 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 What the hell? Go! God!
And finally, we have Last Holiday. Yes, the movie slows down when we move away from the main story location. But if I can convince you to watch this rather lovely movie that is absolutely perfect for Christmas, here are 3 reasons. 1. The setting is stunning. It's shot at the Grand Hotel in Czech Republic, and holy Christ on a cracker with caviar does this place make Caesar's Palace look like Anaheim, California. The luminous white and gold interior to the snow-capped exterior, it is breathtaking to set your eyes upon. Number 2, Queen Latifah. The character is diagnosed with a terminal illness, and she decides to go out with a bang by taking a lavish final vacation. She books the best room, snowboards, base jumps, orders every meal on a menu, and in her spare time calls out a rude customer. She's great. Everyone at the hotel becomes fascinated by her, and aside from one idiot, wants to be around her. This would all be fine by itself, but the reason why we fall in love with her is the actress. Queen Latifah brings an infectious enthusiasm to the role, and I fully bought her as this character. The movie pairs her with a chef played by Gerard Depardieu, and man, it's like they've been acting together for years. They are the equivalent of 2 school kids giggling in the back of class. You want to hang out with them, and at the very least hang out with her, and Latifah makes it look effortless.
Oh, some people are about pose. Fat.
Yeah.
They don't like the pose. Ah.
Chef Didier, you crazy.
And number 3, the theme. Throughout Last Holiday, the story weaves a theme of people trying to buy the intangible. Respect, power, love. And even if you do buy these things, it's as thin as cellophane and half as sturdy. When Latifah's character arrives and books that suite, she's treated as royalty and people pay attention to her. But that would happen to anyone with bottomless pockets. The reason they keep watching her and keep wanting to spend time with her is because she's fun with a good soul. Meanwhile, the main antagonist, who is a regular at the hotel and repeatedly demands special treatment, is practically swatted like a gnat by the head chef when Queen Latifah's in the room. I live in a country that unfortunately celebrates greed and selfishness, and in some industries considers them a natural way of life. Last Holiday is a fantasy, but I do believe it has some truth to it, that all the power and manipulation in the world can't make people actually love you. You gotta be lovable first. And this movie is very easy to love. Check it out.
Oh, sounds so good. Will he have the same specials tomorrow night?
No, Chef Didier never creates the same menu twice.
Well, I guess I better try them all tonight then.
Toot. All.
Toot, baby. Toot sweet.
And that's my list of some movies to watch around Christmas. What are some of yours? Be sure to comment below, subscribe, and check out my Patreon rewards to support the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.